Hey everybody, welcome to Adventures with Peps. Today we are going back to Warhammer 40k. I've not bought anything new. I'm trying my best not to buy any new 40k. But we are going back to a project that I used to be doing and it fell off the wagon because I got distracted with other fun stuff like you do. And that is painting Badab War Space Marine chapters. Now, Badab War was one of my favorites. It's a Forge World book. It's just great. It's what happens when Space Marine chapters go renegade for all the right reasons and end up becoming one of the coolest bad guys in 40k. But we're not talking about that aspect, we're just talking about the chapter today. So the Exorcists are one of the chapters that were involved in the Badab War. I don't have many, what they called first generation Space Marines left. So I've been using the colour schemes on Primaris Marines, and that is what we are doing today. So let's clear off the desk and get on into it. Right, and away we go. I'm gonna be, as always, talking about the lore of the model whilst you watch me paint. That's just how I prefer to do these. So let's dive in. The Exorcists are a Space Marine chapter with a very dubious founding history. A highly secretive and silent chapter, little is known about their early days. On the subject of their creation, a single communication remains and was sent from a Genitor Major of the Xenobiologist Corps named Lorem Callan. The Exorcists were formed as a successor chapter of the Imperial Fists at the end of M35, or very early M36, part of the 13th Founding, aka the Dark Founding. Created from the resilient gene stock in the early years of the chapter, they proved adaptable to many strategic challenges. However, the fate of the chapter dramatically changed after the events on Totem 4, during the campaign to liberate the planet from demons under the control of a Lord of Change. The Exorcists proved resilient against the hordes of demons, taking heavy physical damage but able to overcome the mental assaults of the warp. At the height of the battle, their chapter master was possessed by the Lord of Change. However, he was able to use the possession to awaken his own psychic abilities and reach out, giving the other exorcists the ability to cast the demon down, and he was banished back to the warp. The incident became known to the radicals of the Audio Malice. The Plutonians, as they are also known, relieved the chapter master of command and established a purpose-built facility on its homeworld. Here, they interrogated the exorcists relentlessly, but eventually found them to be pure. Having discovered that they had this weird power about them, they kind of went a little bit radical and decided the best way to continue their training was to force them into what became known as demonic possession therapy. Now, this just sounds terrible, but ultimately, after a minor period of training, they decide to go under what is known as demonic possession therapy. Each Marine is under tight security and is subjected to possession by a minor denizen of the warp in an area of the fortress monastery known as the Hall of Tempering. The creature is allowed to remain within the host body for 12 hours until they are cast out by a demon hunter. Some of the Marines are so damaged physically and psychologically that they are then terminated. However, the ones that survive need only minor reconstructive surgery. That just sounds terrible, doesn't it? After a period of recuperation, the subjects are taught the ways of combating the demon and trained in the use of the 66 verses of the Book of Exorcism and equipped with weapons of an exorcist. To test the creations, the Marines are put into combat on a demoned world in the northern edges of the Eye of Terror, with a squad of Grey Knights held in reserve just in case these new recruits turn on their masters. Those who fail the trials are known to suffer horrific fates that are not limited to permanent possession, transformation into chaos spawns, deathless torture, or broken minds. These individuals, dubbed Broken Ones, are sometimes used as prison vessels to hold captured demonic entities. So even if you fail the tests and you're not put down because you're completely broken, You may end up becoming a host to a demon just so the Inquisition can just put them in a cage and keep them trapped forever. It is pretty dark and grim. After the rites of purification, it is known that exorcists often bear the side effects of the possession: spikes, scales, ugly growths, altered skin. And to avoid embarrassment, they basically just keep their hoods on, keep their armor on, keep their helmets on. They are hidden all the time now. They rarely show themselves to the wider Imperium. The gene seed is supposedly made from the resilient Imperial fist stock. However, it is considered an anomaly, as no other sons of Dawn display the resilience to the demonic like the Exorcists do. And ultimately, the Exorcists don't really share any similarities to Dawn or the other Imperial Fist successors. They bear no fraternal ties to the successor chapters, and the battle cries make no mention of Dawn at all. Only upon initiation to the first company are Exorcists even told they are the descendants from Dawn, and it is a truth that is even kept secret from most of the chapter. The Exorcists are a Codex-compliant chapter, but they do deviate in some areas. Their chapter numbers 12 companies instead of the standard 10, maintaining 2 additional scout companies due to the higher influx of neophytes, which obviously, because of possession and so many of them getting killed off, they need 2 extra companies of scouts to keep up their numbers. Another prominent feature of the Exorcists are the Orsons, a specialist cultist unit that deviates themselves into a particular field of expertise or knowledge. The most renowned of these are the Enochian Guard, if I've said that right, who in this chapter are the equivalent of the first company. Any failed exorcists adopt the Broken Ones, as we mentioned before, and the Broken Ones are kept in the Purga Tomb, guarded by the wards and by Grey Knights. It sounds like a terrible place. You don't want to be down there. Chapter culture and tactics, they pretty much vary from brother to brother due to the different cults within the chapter. These cults form an important part of the identity, and they open their doors to any exorcist who would consult their records or learn more of their tradition. These cults operate their own subcults and shrines, and its members reflect in different ways upon their duties as Space Marines whilst working to expand the libraries of each cult. See, they sound absolutely terrible, don't they, at the end of the day? Despite many similarities to the Grey Knights, the combat doctrine definitely differs from them. They have no specialist resources and fight with what normal Space Marines would fight with. They are known for their effective reconnaissance and large use of scouts, which makes sense as they have 3 companies of scouts, and many scouts undertake combat duties that would normally be reserved for fully fledged battle brothers. A favoured tactic is to work neophyte forces into positions where they appear vulnerable, and then reveal them, drawing out the enemy by giving them a false sense of tactical advantage before crushing them with the full weight of the Space Marine force. They have been known since the arrival of Primaris Space Marines to prefer the use of vanguard formations. Their symbol is a fleshless skull with horns. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully we are fairly into the video now, and we can quickly talk about how I painted it. So it was quite simply a black prime with the classic flesh dry brushing over the top that I really enjoy using now. I then followed that up by doing the small details first. So I got the pallid bone and did the skull and crossbones that's on his chest, followed by the orc flesh for his eye lenses. Then I hit it with the slaughter red, which gives it this nice crimson dark colour. On top of that, we went with the hardened leather for all the leather areas, the dark wood for gun handles and the ground that he's walking on. We then finished it up with grim black for all the other details that were still white at this point. And then I just picked out any metallic areas with a very simple silver paint by GW. it's really a very simple paint scheme. I like the way it looks. I could see myself actually having an army of these, or at least a full unit. I think they look really pretty. So let me know in the comments what you think. Would you do a full army of Exorcists? What combat doctrines would you use? I have not played 40k in the last 2 editions, so I don't know the rules. I'm going to be honest and upfront there. I just enjoy painting the figures. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this and want to see more Space Marine painting guides, drop me a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if I can get my words out. Doesn't cost you anything. Come join us on Discord and show off what you've been painting. It's all free to do. And as always, I appreciate you stopping by. And I'll catch you in another video soon. Bye bye. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and then go watch this one. This one up here. Give it a click. Bye bye.